This is United Network News with Sunny Galt, Calen, Kimberly Gogan, and our field messengers from around the world. Here's today's real news.
Monosodium glutamate, or MSG, is often a hot topic when it comes to food and health. While it's a common flavor enhancer found in many delicious dishes, it has gained a bit of a reputation for being not so healthy. But what exactly is MSG, and should we be avoiding it?
MSG, also known as E621, has been a go-to flavor enhancer in the food world for more than 100 years. It's a white, odorless, crystalline powder that dissolves easily in water, breaking down into sodium and free glutamate. Made through fermenting carbs like sugar beet, sugar cane, or molasses, MSG doesn't have much of a taste on its own, but when added to food, it brings out that savory, meaty flavor we all love. No wonder it's a favorite for home cooks and restaurant chefs alike. There are plenty of recent studies and videos out there showing MSG is totally safe when eaten in normal amounts, claiming its bad reputation comes from myths and misconceptions. In fact, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration and the European Food Safety Association even label it as GRAS, generally recognized as safe. But what exactly qualifies as moderate amounts? Research published in BMJ journals reveals 60 to 90% of the typical American diet now consists of highly processed foods and beverages. According to experts, MSG is present in 95% of these processed foods, hidden under various names.
Is this toxic ingredient hiding in your food? It is MSG, and it's a flavor enhancer. It could be labeled as any one of these things on your food labels. Please check it out. Please screenshot this. It is a neurotoxin, meaning that it destroys neurons in your brain where your leptin receptors are sitting. And this is one of the reasons why you eat certain types of food that have this ingredient. It makes you more and more hungry, and there's a reason why they put it in the foods, obviously. So my tip here, always make your own food and eat healthy whole foods that don't contain these types of ingredients, as well as look out for the symptoms of MSG if you're sensitive, which a lot of people are. It can cause chest pain, heart palpitations, headaches, nausea feelings of drowsiness and weakness just because of this toxic food ingredient.
In her article, Dirty Secrets of the Food Processing Industry, the nutrition journalist and food historian Sally Fallon highlights the serious risks of MSG. Studies as far back as the 1950s show MSG causes blindness and obesity in mice, and later research linked it to brain damage and neurotoxicity. It's even tied to conditions like Alzheimer's, seizures, and nervous system diseases. MSG was supposedly removed from baby food in the late 1950s, but it just got renamed hydrolyzed protein. Food for thought, isn't it? MSG might also contribute to weight gain. Experts aren't sure why, but it may be linked to leptin, the hormone controlling appetite and metabolism. Studies suggest MSG can lead to leptin resistance, meaning your body struggles to process energy from food. This could explain why people who eat more MSG tend to gain weight, no matter their calorie intake. Studies show MSG may increase the risk of metabolic issues like high blood sugar, insulin resistance, and diabetes. A 2024 review in Food Science and Nutrition shows high MSG intake disrupts gut health by affecting the balance of good and bad bacteria, which impacts overall health.
Glutamate enters the body so quickly, it spikes the amount of glutamate in the bloodstream by a factor of 8 to 10 times the normal amount. In fact, in the 1970s, researchers found that pharmaceutical MSG used in medications would kill brain cells. Shortly thereafter, they realized that commercially available MSG had the same exact effect. By the way, MSG is still used in many pharmaceutical medications. So your next question should be, why is this dangerous? Remember, glutamate stimulates nerves to fire. When you constantly consume MSG, it causes dangerous, out-of-control nerve firing because it's an excitotoxin. And this can happen with peripheral nerves or brain neurons.
So, is MSG bad for you? Ultimately, the decision is yours. Take the time to research and explore the facts and make an informed choice. If you're worried about the side effects of MSG, the solution is simple. Skip the ultra-processed foods and eat real whole foods instead. We've talked about the presence of chemicals in water, particularly across Europe. But what about the United States? Is the situation any different, or are we facing similar challenges? Well, a study from Science magazine found nearly 45 million Americans drink water each year that fails to meet Safe Water Act standards.
You'd think city drinking water is clean and safe, but things like industrial dumping, pesticide runoff, pharmaceuticals, and leaky tanks might prove otherwise. The Environmental Working Group says drinking water in many areas in the U.S. contains harmful chemicals like lead, arsenic, and forever chemicals, often at unsafe levels. The issue is more common in low-income and underserved communities, especially those with higher Black or Latino populations. Industrial or agricultural contaminants in tap water can increase risks of cancer, nervous system damage, fertility issues, and other health problems, with higher risks in these vulnerable areas. Research shows millions of Americans may be drinking water contaminated with toxic forever chemicals. In April 2024, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency introduced a rule requiring local governments to monitor and reduce 6 types of forever chemicals in water systems. Cities have 3 years to test for these chemicals and 5 years to lower harmful levels if found.
Nearly half of tap water in the U.S. contains forever chemicals, called PFAS, which pose health risks including cancer, according to a government study. The U.S. Geological Survey conducted the first nationwide effort to test tap water from private sources, in addition to regulated ones. PFAS compounds, found in consumer products like non-stick pans and water-resistant clothing, contaminate drinking water in cities, small towns, private wells, and public systems. While the report doesn't offer policy recommendations, it suggests evaluating exposure risk and considering water treatment. The Environmental Protection Agency is working on federal drinking water limits for PFAS. Advocates urge tackling the problem at its source by regulating chemical disposal. Private well users are advised to test their water and install filters to combat PFAS contamination.
Then there's the ongoing debate surrounding water fluoridation. The American Cancer Society says fluoride is added to public drinking water for about 3 out of 4 Americans. State or local governments decide whether to add fluoride to the water. Water fluoridation raises ethical concerns by removing individual choice and exposing everyone to fluoride without consent. Hundreds of studies show the harmful effects of fluoride, and many Western European countries don't fluoridate their water. Recently, a U.S. court told the EPA, Environmental Protection Agency, to re-examine the risks, saying current levels could harm children's health. In the early 20th century, public water systems began adding chlorine to drinking water to kill harmful germs like cholera and typhoid, solving a major public health issue. However, long-term exposure to chlorinated water has been linked to health risks, including higher chances of certain cancers and potential complications for pregnant women due to toxic byproducts formed during purification.
So I was reading my water company's quality report. Don't judge, it's a very relaxing read. And I noticed something that freaked me out. One of the contaminants in my water, which I can't even pronounce, was labeled a byproduct of drinking water chlorination. What? Now, of course, I know that chlorine is great and it keeps my water clean, which keeps me alive. But what I didn't know is that chlorine reacts with organic matter in your water and forms something called disinfection byproducts. Get it? Because they're byproducts from the disinfectant. And these DBPs are pretty nasty and can increase your risk of cancer and liver disease. Scary stuff. So if you want to protect yourself from these guys, you gotta make sure you have a water filter designed to remove them.
Some systems switch to chloramine, a mix of chlorine and ammonia. It's more stable than chlorine, lasts longer, and produces fewer harmful byproducts. However, scientists later discovered chloramine also creates byproducts. Recently, they identified a chemical called chloronitromide anion in treated drinking water, affecting around 113 million people in the U.S. While its harm is unclear, its properties resemble toxic molecules, raising health concerns. Lead pipes are another major source of contamination. In 2014, Flint, Michigan switched its water supply to the Flint River, but failed to treat it properly, causing lead and other toxins from old pipes to contaminate the water. Lead exposure is especially harmful to children, impacting brain development, IQ, learning, behavior, hearing, and growth. In October 2024, the EPA introduced a rule giving drinking water systems 10 years to identify and replace lead pipes. These are just a few examples of the many contaminants that can be found in tap water, highlighting the need for better water management and safety measures.
This is my #1 reason I refuse to drink tap water. It'll be your #1 reason too, so scroll on if you don't want to learn this. No matter where you live, you can Google your town's local tap water report. I'll share my town's with you right now. Lead, 0.2 parts per billion. Chromium 5, 0.42 parts per billion. Uranium, 7.1 PCIL. Chloroform bacteria, 0.6 parts per billion. Chlorine, 4 parts per million. Discharge from steel and pump mills. Discharge of oil drilling. Decay of man-made deposits. Discharge from factories, dry cleaners, and auto shops. Industrial waste factory deposits. Human waste deposits. And that's all right here in my local report. So I encourage you to Google your local tap water report and then stop drinking it.
If you're worried about chemicals in tap water, start by identifying potential contaminants. You can use a home testing kit or hire a professional to test your water. Keep in mind, even if your water company's tests are clean, your pipes might still introduce contamination. Signs your water needs testing include coloration, cloudiness, a strange smell, or if your pipes are old and rusting. You can also install a whole house filter for clean water throughout your home, or choose a countertop filter as a cheaper option for safe drinking water.
The town of Marshall in North Carolina, USA, is in the process of rebuilding after Hurricane Helene caused severe damage. UNN Field Messenger Godfrey shares updates on the town's progress.
This is Godfrey Cavers reporting for United Network News from Marshall. The people of Marshall are rebuilding their town. This is the town hall, completely just a shell. But this is where the real devastation happened here. That's where the Honda Auto, the mechanic, was. This whole building got washed away. There was an old station on the other side of the road that just crashed into it, and that crashed in Presbyterian Church. The United States Post Office in Marshall.
And here's what's left of the store.
So this is someone who worked in this workshop, and this is her mother. She said that they had 3 to 5 inches of dry area in her upstairs apartment. Yeah, this is the mud here. Yeah. So now we come to the bridge. This bridge was completely covered in water. And you can see that there was no lamppost on this side of the bridge. So that's where the water was strongest. And then there's the island. So you can see the water line went up to halfway up the first floor, and then there's a basement below. And so they built a new beach here. So this was the park. This was the local park where Marshall residents, including me, walk your dogs and stuff. And now it's gradually coming back, but it's just dust. Tons and tons and tons of dust and debris. And so this ends the report from Marshall. I hope you enjoyed watching this report. I look forward to seeing you again.
A forest kindergarten is an outdoor-based preschool for children aged 3 to 6, combining learning and play in nature. UNN Field Messenger Lisa takes us to her hometown to explore their unique outdoor preschool.
This is Lisa, UNN Field Messenger, reporting from Krumbach, Germany.
We're seeing the land behind my hometown, which my parents or my family was farming. And I'm on a high spot here. I just wanted to show you the beautiful view. And this is the small town where I grew up. The church I used to go to. Yep, that is Krumbach. Over there in the back, that little building in front of the forest, is a forest kindergarten that they built. So the kids can be near the forest and then spend the whole day outside if the weather permits. I think that's a beautiful idea and just perfect. This is the forest kindergarten, and we can see here's the forest on all sides, and they built it right outside because of the potential danger because of heating the place and creating a fire inside the woods. So that's why it's right outside the forest. And down here we can see the area where the children can sit. And over there we see the sandbox. And inside they have a container area where they can all sit and do stuff as well. So, and this is the back of the forest kindergarten. You can see they have a chimney here so they can heat, and there's a bathroom outside. That's the forest kindergarten.
Corralejo, in the northern part of Fuerteventura, Spain, is famous for its lively surf culture. The area is home to many surf camps and schools, attracting visitors from around the world. UNN Field Messenger Emma shares more about this amazing destination.
Hi, this is Emma, Field Messenger for UNN, reporting from a busy day at the surfing beach on Fuerteventura. So we are now on the north of Fuerteventura in a town called Corralejo, and it's kind of a surfer's paradise. And what is special about this place is that it has very long waves, so you can do loads of surfing. And there are around 30 surf schools in the north of Fuerteventura, and the surfing course takes about 3-4 hours, and it costs around 50 euros. You can also attend the surf camp, and it lasts for 8 days and costs around 500 euros, mostly all inclusive. There are surf camps that combine surf and yoga. There are also surf camps only for females. Some of them are all inclusive, but some of them is just offers a bed and breakfast. Choosing the right surf spot in the right day with the right conditions can mean the difference between getting battered around by the waves or having a good surf experience. For beginner-friendly surf spots, ask the local surf shop or look for a sandy bottom and a relative quiet area. But the surf instructors know where to take you. They have like scouts that go out every day and check the conditions. So here we can see a board with the surfing codes to respect the locals. And there's a lot of surf schools who also need to know the rules, how the wave comes, how to take the wave, who's taking the wave, and priorities and things like that. You learn about waves, currents, how to properly stand on the board with surf lessons, and normally they start with theory on the beach, and then the surfers follow the instructors out to the best spots for their condition and their level of knowledge. The duration is normally 3 to 4 hours. They have instructors in English, Spanish, Italian, probably German and French as well. And what to bring? Well, bring swimwear, towel, and water to drink. The age range is from 99 years and younger. So hope you like the report. Thank you for watching.
Saving money is easier than ever, thanks to cashback apps. They've gained a lot of popularity because who doesn't love earning a little money back on purchases? But like anything else, there are certain things you should know before you start using them. So let's break it all down so you can figure out if they're worth your time.
Cashback apps are mobile or online tools that let you earn a percentage of money back when you make purchases through their platform or upload proof of purchases. They're essentially rebate apps. They act as middlemen between you and the retailers, offering rewards for shopping through their links or scanning receipts after a purchase. These apps can help you save money on a variety of purchases. You can earn rewards on everyday essentials like groceries, dining out at your favorite restaurants, shopping for clothes, fueling up at gas stations, and even booking travel.
Believe me if I told you that there is an app out there that gives you cash back on your receipts. Now, I was pretty skeptical at first when I first heard about it, and I was like, really? But after using it for probably about 2 months now, it is achievable. Now, I'll give you a bit of a backstory. So I do travel quite a bit. So I shop at various places around Australia. I keep my receipts, I scan them in, and you obviously have to get to certain thresholds before you can cash out. I am very, very close to a $15 cash out. Now that probably does accumulate to maybe a couple of $1,000 worth of receipts. But if you're willing to be patient and do it, that is an option for you.
These third-party apps partner with stores and brands. When you purchase these products, these apps get a commission from the store or brand. They then split that commission with you. The rates you receive can vary. You might get 2% back for the same purchase on one app, but check another app and you could score 5%. The rates can change pretty often, which keeps users coming back to check for the best deals. Cashback apps work in a couple of ways. You can shop directly through their app, and it will automatically track your purchase and give you cash back. Or if you're shopping in store, you can upload your receipt after buying something, and the app will scan to see if you qualify for any rewards. Some apps even allow you to maximize your savings by using multiple apps that give you credit for the same purchase.
You know what time it is. I started using these receipt apps in October of 2023, and I'm still doing it in January 2024. And I will continue to do it for the rest of this year. It has helped out a lot. So what I do is I scan a receipt. For example, let's do Dollar Tree, right? I scan this receipt on every app. And so I get money from every app from the same receipts. Do you know what I mean? So instead of using just one app to get like 10, 20 bucks, why not use 3 apps and get triple the amount? You know what I mean? So if I were you, I would suggest you get multiple apps. You can get the Fetch app and the Receipt Hog app in my Stand store. So that way you can get some cash back for these receipts. If it's money that you've already spent, why not get some money back? I use all of these receipt apps to pay for all of the small things that I actually need at home. So shampoo, conditioner, soap, toothpaste, toothbrush, whatever it is, like cleaning supplies. I use all of these apps to pay for that shit. Like recycling. I'm getting the receipts, I'm scanning the receipts. And so what I suggest to you, if you're looking to save money while you're side hustling, this is a great way to do it.
While cashback apps can be a great way to save money, it's important to use caution. They can encourage impulse buying. With the promise of earning cash back, it's easy to get tempted to buy things you wouldn't normally purchase just to get that extra reward. Some apps have high payout thresholds or require you to make a certain amount of purchases before you can cash out, which can be frustrating if you don't use them often. Also, not all cashback offers are straightforward. Some apps may have complicated terms or exclusions that make it tricky to get your rewards. There's also the issue of security. Who's seeing your personal information? Many apps require access to your shopping history, credit card, or bank account details to track your purchases and reward you accordingly. This means your data could be shared with other third parties trying to target you with more ads or other things. To protect yourself, only use cashback apps that have strong security measures in place and clear privacy practices. And be mindful of the personal details you're sharing.
Something happened recently that really, really irritated me. I'm sure you've heard about it if you are a Fetch Rewards user. And that's the addition of the social tab. If you use Fetch Rewards and you have not opened it and looked at, they're testing it. It's in beta stage. Down at the bottom, you should have a button that says social. So if you click on the social, it shows you, well, it shows me, all of you guys, your names, where you're shopping, how much you've spent, when you were there. When I first saw this, I was absolutely livid. I just feel like that's a total breach of privacy personally. So what I did is I tried to click on someone's name and then click on the receipt itself, like click on the camera, click on the total, click on the cart, click on the name again, click anywhere on there to see if I could find out more information, and I cannot. The things I can see on here are the store, the date that they went shopping, the number of items you bought, and the total for the store. I can't see where the store was. I can't see the items that you bought, but I definitely see some information. This is really bothering me.
Cashback apps can be a smart way to save money, but it's important to use them with caution. While they make it easy to earn rewards, it's also easy to get caught up and overspend just to earn a little extra cash back. Plus, we need to be careful about the personal information we share, especially with third-party apps. So it's always a good idea to review their privacy policies. If you use cashback apps wisely, sticking to your budget, watching for the best deals, and safeguarding your data, they can be a useful tool for saving.
UNN is changing the face of news. Join us for our weekly Field Messenger meetings and learn how you can make a difference. Visit unitednetwork.earth for more information. Thanks for watching.